Welcome, YouTube and Twitchers. I got crazy. I forgot.
You got crazy. That was an old. I think that's when Skylar turned 21. She wanted to go to Disneyland. That was the same year we did the Disneyland half marathon, when it's like heat advisory at 5 a.m.
Oh,
and shit you not,
I remember
people were passing out as they were running. Now FedEx just pulled up to my house. Now here's the fun thing. You probably can't tell.
Well,
that's water. That's water in my yard because I irrigated. So we're going to see if the FedEx guy decides
to trudge through the water,
splash his way along the steps.
I like to hear the birds chirping. It reminds me that spring's coming. It's still frozen out there, you know?
Right. Or is he going to back up and go along the way? So this is fun. So it's irrigation day, right? And this is Jim, this guy that heads the irrigation district. So I go pull my ditch out when it's time. So I didn't go work out the day or anything because it started at 7:45. So I go pull the ditch stop out a little after 9. Must have been the neighbor's FedEx guy. And Jim's walking down. What's up, Jim? Remember the crazy cat lady that lives across the street that called the cops on me for skinning, killing, and burying cats in my backyard?
Of course.
Yeah, that fuck. So she has nothing better to do but, be a nosy neighbor and all that kind of shit. So she has been down to into the street taking care of this really cool guy's yard, which is nice of her. I'll give her that. She's nice side to her somewhere. But she jumps on Jim because she says, Jim, the irrigation guy, the house at the end of the corner, his yard gets flooded out. Well, no, it doesn't. It doesn't get flooded out. They have ports. Unless you open the port, water doesn't come into your yard. Right. Now, he did tell me in his rant, which is kind of fun, that they leak. Mine leak. Like, I'll open them up and water comes in the one that's not opened yet. So be it. It's not like it's flooding my yard. It comes up to my ditch inside my yard about, a foot or two, and it is what it is. She's over there yelling at him because not her house, the other guy's house, there's this little patch that gets wet and her tractor gets stuck in the mud. Well, here's a hint. Don't drive the tractor in the mud, you stupid individual. Like, that's just common sense to me. Don't drive your tractor where there's mud. I don't.
Advice.
And I'm trying to be kind about it. But really, Linda, really? You're going to yell at Jim because the port leaks inside the port? And she acts like his yard got flooded out. It's mind-boggling to me. Just mind-boggling. Another thing that irritated me today. So the neighborhood page I'm on, the person who runs it, she trusts me to look up the names of people who want to join our page, right? So if you chimed in and wanted to join the page, you got to put your address down. You got to claim who your neighbor is and how long you've lived here.
So it's specific to your neighborhood.
Right. Because we don't want spammers. We don't want people coming in and right.
Makes sense.
So this house gets listed for $1.3 million. And for the love of God, I have no idea where they got the comps because it's a 2,500 square foot house, 3-bed, 3-bath, and one down the street from me just closed 2 months ago for $865. And that's a 5.3 with the pool. This is a 3.3 with the pool. They both have the same size lot. So where they're getting 1.3, I have no idea. I hope they get it, but they won't because it'll never appraise. But if it does, it helps my house and other houses that are similar to it. But that agent tries to come on our page and put in a request to join the page. So the person who runs the page messages me. He's like, can you check this person? Absolutely. I recognize the name because I know it's a realtor because I'm very keen to this neighborhood. Doesn't live in the neighborhood. She references another realtor who just moved in because I closed that house. I sold it. And I know the neighbors on both sides of that house because why? I live in the neighborhood.
Correct.
This realtor claims that that agent who bought that house is her neighbor, which it's not. The house that she has listed is, I don't know, 10 houses east. Mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing what people try to get away with. Like there's no checks and balances in the world. Well, they just come on, man. Just be a grown-up and don't lie your way into something that you have no reason to be involved in, except to try to market your listing and spam the hell out of the group page. I just don't get it. I understand why
wants
people
to take the short way, you know.
Yeah. And that same realtor, I had sent them a message asking them, you know, where'd you get your 1.3 million? Because I'd love to know. I'd love to know the comps that you
Did
used
you get
for
an
that.
answer?
Oh no, of course not.
Of
Of course not.
But
course
that's
not,
how
but
those people are. They ghost you
Mhm.
after you call them on their bullshit.
Well, I didn't call around on bullshit. I just told the person who runs the page, yeah, that's not the neighbor. So they won't let him in. So she doesn't know that I'm involved to that level. Now, people in the neighborhood know I'm involved at that level because I'm active in the neighborhood. I you know, give insight and alerts to real estate updates and things like that on, you know, every 3 weeks or so. So they know who I am. So they know that I've sold more houses in this neighborhood than any other realtor that comes in. So much so, I have some realtors that will text me saying, hey, I have a listing coming up in your neighborhood. Can you give me some insight? My response is always, well, wait a minute. What neighbor is not choosing me to list their house?
Right. I live right here.
Right. And then they'll respond back, last one, oh, that's the greatest answer ever. I said, yeah, and that's the only answer you're getting. So I think that may be the one that has the 1.3 million. So she's not going to respond to me, but you know, so be it. When they play the price drop game, it's just, you know, I sit back and like, yeah, eat some popcorn, watch the chaos. People don't get it, man. Hey, by the way, this is the Chris and Mike show. He's Mike, I'm Chris, and a portion of the show is brought to you by Riverside FM, the one and only choice for your podcasting platforms.
Say that 10 times.
No. And we're live on the Twitch, the YouTube, and chrisandmikeshow.com. That's chrisandmikeshow.com. We were supposed to have this really cool guy on today named Vince. He just scaled a mountain, not Mount Everest, and we were excited to talk to him. But I don't know what happened. Hopefully he didn't fall off another mountain. He didn't fall off that mountain, but
That would be
hopefully
bad.
hopefully he didn't go trekking and then fall off another mountain. And then that's the reason, because we've talked to him before. Super cool guy.
Yeah, we hope you're
does
okay,
a lot of
Vince.
cool. Yeah, it does a lot of cool things. He helps you build your business and then market it to sale. So yeah, super nice guy.
Kind of like Dennis, he knows a lot about AI as well. We talked quite a bit about AI.
Yeah, absolutely. So, did you watch the this is a Friday episode recording. So last night they had the NFL honors on the ESPN. Did you happen to watch that?
I did not. It's college basketball.
I didn't either.
season,
I didn't
man.
either because, you know, it's the NFL is purely for entertainment now that we talked about it. I want to back up though. Joe Flacco made a statement basically saying that Joe Flacco, you know who Joe Flacco is, right? The journeyman
course.
quarterback. Basically, he's saying, you know, we signed up to this league to get hit. We get slapped in the head. We get tackled to the ground. And when you slap a quarterback's head or when you tackle a quarterback to the ground, that should not be passing or that should not be roughing the passer, because we all signed up for what it was. We all knew what we signed up for. Like we all knew we were going to get lit up. We all know we're going to get hit. We all know we can break an arm, a leg, a bone, an ankle, a wrist. We all know this signing up. We all know this going into football. I thought that was great. Way to go. Way to go, Joe Flacco.
All true statements, for sure.
All true statements. So those of you that are just mamby-pamby and whiny little bitches about when Patrick Mahomes gets his little head slapped, go watch flag football, i.e. the Pro Bowl. What a joke that is.
I did catch about 20 seconds of that, and when I saw what they were doing, I was like, nope, not interested. Why even have it if that's what you're going to do?
Right? Just cancel
right?
the thing. Just
that
cancel
was my
it.
first question.
Yeah.
Why would
Yeah.
you even do this?
Yeah. Just call it. Just
You
call
know
it a
how
day.
little people care about it because they put it on Tuesday night, right?
Right. Just kill the thing. Just kill it all. The Pro Bowl, when we were growing up, when Steele was growing up, when, you know, was a sign of I've been chosen by the
It was
fans.
an honor.
Right. And a lot of those football players would use that 50, I think it was 75,000 winners, 25,000 losers. And they would use that 75 grand as a bonus. They would build swimming pools. They would, go on elaborate vacations with their family. It was something to strive for. And you played the game because you wanted to win the money.
Right.
And it's just a friggin' joke, man.
Here's what they need to do.
Okay.
They need to take, I just thought of this as I was thinking about how stupid that idea was, right? And why even do it. So
yeah.
I was thinking, okay, you're so smart. What would you do in place of it? I would take the two worst teams in the NFL record-wise, and I would make them play each other for the first-round draft pick.
That's brilliant.
Then it means something, right? Then the fans are going to watch. Then it's a money-making game for the NFL. Dude, it's a money-making game for the advertisers.
That's awesome.
People are going to watch, right?
Mm-hmm.
The two worst teams have to play each other for one last game. I don't care if you cut those two teams' last game one game short to keep it the same number of games.
Well, no,
right?
but no, because you still play it. Well, Pro Bowl is another game you're played.
True. Okay,
so
there you go.
I think you go. I like the idea. I think you go the whole regular season the way you normally do, and then, like you just said, the two worst teams in the NFL. We still pick
people for the Pro Bowl. We just don't play the game, right? Because that's an honor to be chosen. You're the best of your class. I agree with what you said. That still should be an honor. I don't want to take away from that. The guys who made the Pro Bowl this year, that's huge. But now we have a game that means something, and we're playing for the right to have the first pick.
That's awesome. That's a good idea. And then you give the ones that made the Pro Bowl like here's what you do. Also, you give the ones that made a Pro Bowl $10,000 each to the charity of their choice.
Brilliant.
Because they're already making stupid money anyway. And the NFL, when the NFL gives money to charities, those are from NFL fines. If people don't know that, a lot of that comes from the NFL fines. So if you get fined, like DK Metcalf got fined 2 games in the Steelers this year, so those 2 game checks were forfeited, that goes in the NFL charity fund, and that gets dispersed accordingly.
I did know that, but that's huge for people that don't know that.
Yeah. At least it's how it used to be. It could have changed. Yeah, yeah.
No, I think that's still how it is.
Yeah, which is cool. But yeah, I think that would be a brilliant way to approach that. So the 2 worst teams in the NFL face off against each other for the top draft pick, number 1 overall.
There you go.
And so that means you also get the worst referees in the season, the ones that blew more calls than anybody else, because according to the NFL, they review that stuff. The NFL officiating committee.
So you make them the referees for that game?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, dude, now I love it.
You get the worst for the worst for the worst. That
get the commissioner on the podcast.
Yeah,
next week. Tell him we got this figured out.
I'm sure he's struggling. Yeah. I'm sure he's working on concealing all the Epstein files. Giants co-owner Steve Tisch, the Washington Redskins owner's been tied to it. Russell Wilson. So
I'll tell you the funniest one real quick was Jon Stewart. I watched the Daily Show last night.
Yeah,
Jon Stewart he's like, we've all put our name in there. I hadn't at that point yet, but he said, of course I was in there. He was referenced in some kind of skit they were going to do for some comedy show or something, and they said they could get somebody like Jon Stewart to narrate it. He was offended. He's like, do you want somebody like Jon Stewart, or do you want Jon Stewart? I just thought that was funny. You were going to say something about Russell Wilson.
No, well, I know somebody that's in government that has access to the file. I actually forwarded you the link to it.
You did.
They sent me the 2-page.
The government knows I have that. Thanks, buddy.
Right, you're welcome. You're welcome. They sent me the 2-page email that references Russell Wilson trying to buy one of Epstein's planes, but Russell Wilson is adamant that he didn't do that. Well, it's black and white now. And I put it in my story on Facebook today. It's legit. It's 2 pages. It's referencing Russell Wilson wanting to buy this plane, how he wants to buy the plane. He can't buy the plane until after he got signed by Seattle because it's going to mess up his negotiation standards because he's buying this $6.2 million plane, but he only wants to put $500,000 up front, make payments. It is a very detailed conversation. So for Russell Wilson to sit there and pretend that was all bullshit, dude, it's kind of like what's his face? The disgraced bicyclist swearing up and down left and right he wasn't doping. I'm not doping. I'm not doping. I'm not doping. For years and years. I'm not doping for years and years and years. And then guess what? Yeah, I doped because everybody does it. And
yeah, it turns out you would have to
to
go down to 18th place to get the first winner that wasn't doping back then.
Right.
That's a true statement.
It's like steroids in baseball. Right. It's like steroids in baseball in the Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa era. If they didn't allow steroids in baseball back then, baseball would have died. Baseball would have went away.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It would have fizzled.
Yeah, it was dead.
It was done. It was attendances were at all-time low. People were bored with it. It was just humdrum. Woe is me. Fucking stupid.
But here's the thing. They make stupid rules that everybody has to abide by.
Right.
Just apparently the natural way wasn't working at that moment in time. They figured out a way to bring excitement back to the game, and then we're supposed to penalize them for doing what we asked them to do in the first place, right? People need to see the lunacy in their thought process as society tells them what to think, right?
Right.
It's a lot to unpack there.
But it's true.
Something that took me a long time to figure out, right? Don't let the media and society lead you by the nose and say, oh, we hate baseball, blah, 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 we hate baseball, baseball sucks. Blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden they're hitting home runs and everybody's like, hey, baseball's great, let's go to the game.
Right.
Did you know that they were doing steroids at the time? Oh, baseball sucks. Now we got to tarnish their record. They're were cheating at the game paying the money to watch them hit the home runs, right?
Right. Now, what I will argue with,
please,
is when everybody got caught, right, for the most part.
Barry Bonds, Sosa,
but before,
were the big ones.
Right, but so when Sosa and McGwire got caught and Rafael Palmeiro got caught, which was a joke, and I've always thought that somebody on the Diamondbacks was juicing because he was a very normal looking. And the last couple of years of his stint, he was, and I'm, you either have it or you don't. You either have the ability to bulk up like that or you don't. I'm not going to drop the name because I don't know if it's accurate or not, but I think you know who I'm talking about.
I do. You can tell me afterwards. I think I do.
But once everybody got caught, that's your clue to stop. Barry Bonds can say all he wants because he's still adamant that he never touched steroids. Dude, you look like Mike when you got into the majors, and then skinny little white guy, and
I'll let him finish. I'm gonna go cry in the corner for a second,
and then 10 years later, you got 100 more pounds on your body of all muscle.
I know what you're saying, 100%.
It's just, and if you look at the rookie year to when he retired, you cannot tell anybody he didn't juice for longer than he should have, because again, once it comes out that McGwire and Sosa are using, if you're using, that's your clue. Stop. Barry Bonds' legacy in baseball will be forever tarnished. So will McGwire's and so will Sosa's, because they didn't stop when it was evident time to stop. Read the room.
But there's also an argument from the other side that would say that steroids is a lot like marijuana. It's been demonized so much that the benefits of steroids are a recovery. That's why they give them to you when you get so sick that you're not going to come out the other side, right? It helps your body recover.
Sure.
So that bulk that people are talking about, really what it's doing is, as that person is overexerting themselves, as they're taking steroids, it's helping their muscles recover faster.
Yeah.
Like at an incredible rate. So if you're doing them the right way, you're working out, you're recovering properly, it's actually beneficial.
Sure.
It's the people that do what you just described, to where they're juicing to the gills and working out overtly to the point where nobody should. You're redlining, so to speak.
Right.
Then you're hurting your body.
Yeah. And
think of like Mr. Olympian,
Yeah.
The guys that get up there and they're just like
Schwarzenegger.
Correct.
Schwarzenegger's first to admit it.
In his competition days.
He did it.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
They all did. Every one of them back then did.
Look at The Rock. Look at The Rock when he's doing an action-adventure movie. He juices up. He goes through a cycle.
Sure.
And then when he's not doing action, when he's doing some, dramedy, he's a normal-looking dude. He still has muscle, but he's a normal looking dude.
Yeah, you can do that safely without hurting. Steroids are not a demon unless, like any drug, if you drink coffee 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, eventually something in your body is going to give up, right?
Yeah.
I'm not a doctor, but there's something that, if you abuse anything, it's going to.
Right. I guess my point is that if you're doing performance enhancing drugs in any sport and the figureheads of that sport get caught, that to me, read the room. I got to stop. I got to back this off. I got to slowly taper myself off of this so it's not so dramatic. I go from 240 to 180 in a month. I got to just baby step the thing off. He didn't. He continued doing, at least from the perspective of a fan, he continued juicing the way he was juicing because he wanted that record. And he was pissed off.
That's how bad that drive to be number one is.
Right.
Yeah. You only have so many years to be in your prime, right? He wasn't willing to sacrifice. He knew he was going to go back to just being an average player.
Right.
Potentially. Right. We don't know because he never gave himself the chance.
No, and he was already a great baseball player. He came from a good lineage of baseball players.
Of course. He had the potential to be who he was anyway.
Right. It's not like he was a slacker, man. It's not.
But
like
I agree with you 1,000,000%. We'll never know because in my opinion, is the same as yours. He never quit.
Yeah, and he should have quit, or at least, like I said, taper down a bit to where then when you're asked the question, yes, I did it because everybody was doing it, and that was the thing at the time. Just like when Pete Rose played baseball, what was in their coffee? Speed. Like he flat out said, you drink a pot of coffee in the.
Oh, there's famous pictures of all those guys from the '80s. You and I have talked about it, where they got beer sitting behind them and they're smoking cigarettes and they got half their clothes on and off, and they haven't showered for 3 days. It's not but it's like you alluded to when we were talking about the Mannings. The original patriarch of the family didn't make shit for money because there was no players union back then for any of these leagues. These guys were just having fun for the glory of being a pro baseball player.
Exactly.
They were decently compensated, but they weren't living in 60-room houses,
No.
But there's something so nostalgic about that time, where you see those pictures where they were just drinking on the way to the And Pete Rose still, man, I just read a statistic where if you got 4 hits in every game and you played for 20 years, you still would be 400 hits behind him or something.
Yes. And that's the worst he did was coffee and speed, man.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And he gambled a little bit. Who gives a fuck? Everybody, I gamble every day of my life.
Dude, there's so many people gambling right now in sports that are sports athletes. I just gotta be. It's so insane. Like the bullshit last night where Jackson Dart was not the offensive player of the year. I lost $2 Bullshit on that.
I lost $2.
I chose Vrabel though. I picked Vrabel to win Coach of the Year because I just figured if anybody deserves that, it's him going from 4-13 to the Super Bowl. But I'm a still believer too that they shouldn't have NFL honors till after the Super Bowl is over. They should have it a week after the season's over because I think,
agree with you there too.
Right, because I think
way more sense.
Yeah, because the MVP should be, did you get your team to the Super Bowl? It's between those two guys. You know what I mean? And offensive player, rookies, all kind of things. It's what do you do for the entire year, not just regular season? Because regular season, nobody plays to lose and be out of the playoffs in the regular season. If they do, I don't know why they're playing football.
Right.
Or baseball or basketball for that matter,
But, who did you pick? Did you already?
I picked Jackson Dart for the offensive player of the year.
No, and who'd you pick for the Super Bowl?
I think I picked the Patriots because I just don't. Yeah, I picked the Patriots because I think it'd be cool to have. I know Giants fans are screaming at me, but I think it would be cool to have. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. A player who's won 2, then becomes the coach, and the coach, and he wins one as a coach for the same team played. Right. I think that'd be cool. I think that'd be really cool. I want to break down the list of people. So, Breeze. Okay, so the Hall of Fame class: Drew Brees, Roger Craig, Larry Fitzgerald, Luke Kuechly, and Adam Vinatieri. Vinatieri and Breeze I agree with. Roger Craig I agree with, because why is he not in there already? But Fitzgerald and Kuechly did not play more than 6 years. Larry Fitzgerald cost the Cardinals a Super Bowl, whether people want to believe that or not. I mean, Drew Brees was a record-setting quarterback in the regular season, but he only won one Super Bowl, and he gets in the first year of eligibility. Yet Eli, who beat the GOAT twice, still sits on the sidelines. I call bullshit on that. Eli played the game to play the game to win the championship. Eli didn't play the game for stats. You know, Roger Craig, dual threat running back, NFL player. You know, the first NFL player to gain 1,000 yards rushing and receiving in the same season. By all means, 3-time Super Bowl champion Niners. Why he's just now getting there, beyond me. He should have been there a long time ago. Fitzgerald's the NFL's second all-time leading receiver. Okay, second. If you ain't first, you're last. So does that really warrant a first-time? You know, I don't think that is. If he slides,
it
he has
depends
a on. Name.
It depends on who he was up against, and he was up against people who should have been there before him. That's the point.
Correct. Luke Kuechly, a tackling machine at inside linebacker, who was 34-year-old at the time of his selection, and 8 years. He played 8 years. 8 years, and that means he's a Hall of Famer? I don't think so. Adam Vinatieri, by all means, the Patriots don't have at least 3 Super Bowls if he doesn't kick them into the Super Bowl itself.
Well, and he was there for a lot of those games.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
He absolutely deserves to be. He's a multi-time Super Bowl champion.
Yeah, Adam Vinatieri by far is a Hall of Famer. Just his foot alone. I mean, if not the human, just his foot. If he was dead, you just take his foot out of the grave and stick it in a podium. I don't agree with Larry Fitzgerald. I think Larry Fitzgerald's a Hall of Famer, but I don't think he's first round. I don't think Luke Kuechly's a first round.
Agreed.
Why it took Roger Craig so long? No idea, because that's bullshit. He was a hell of a running back in a time where running backs punished you for tackling them.
Well, that just reinforces your point for the other two not being this time. You know, your first time, if you haven't won a Super Bowl, you definitely shouldn't get in when a guy like Roger Craig had to wait so long.
And he has 3.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And those two got in as a first-time ballot against an Eli Manning who beat somebody who we revere as the greatest quarterback ever, arguable, but most people agree with that. He beat him twice.
Twice. And
so
I'm
how
not
does
saying
that not warrant being
Right.
a Hall of Fame quarterback?
Right. And I'm part of that's because I'm a Giants fan, but wholeheartedly.
No, that's
Drew
why
Brees
I
has
state
won.
that way, right?
Yeah.
He didn't just win 2 Super Bowls, which is enough unto itself. Doesn't matter who he beat.
No,
but
he won 2.
The fact that
he was
beat
the MVP
2 against the greatest quarterback, arguably of all time, that says something. It just
and
does.
he was the MVP, and he was the MVP of the said Super Bowl.
You know how I like to.
You
know how I like to use music analogies. That would be like somebody going up there that nobody knew. And doing a duel with Eddie Van Halen or Jimmy Page, and all of a sudden those guys go, wow, that guy's better than Jimmy Page, or he's better than Eddie Van Halen, and Eddie Van Halen going, yeah, he is better than me, right?
Yeah.
Because in those 2 instances, Tom Brady has to say, Eli Manning was better than me, at least that day.
Yeah. Now, granted, a quarterback doesn't win the game by himself, but
you're the general.
There were 2 throws on both of those games that were once-in-a-lifetime throws that were catches. The Tyree helmet catch and the Hakeem Nicks. That thing, if you look at that up in the Google machine or YouTube, the Hakeem Nicks Super Bowl, the second Super Bowl, like how he got his toes down and how Eli got that ball where he got that ball under pressure is insane. That is and people will tell you that's one of the best throws ever. The Hakeem Nicks one is probably a little bit better than Tyree, because Tyree, that's just good karma. That's just good living. Right? Like,
for sure.
It's just
sure.
That's one of those luck-changing things.
If he went to make that play 100 times, he's only going to make it 9. He's only going to make it 1.2% of the time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. The probability of that is nuts. But he still caught it. He still threw it. So it still warrants the victory. It still warrants an MVP. It still warrants Super Bowl championship. So, there's that. This stupid shit, man.
Well, you just wonder what's going through the minds of the people that make the decision. You know, if I was sitting in that, I was put myself in that room, you know, how did everybody decide that this is where we're at? How was one person not making the argument that you and I are making right now?
Yeah.
But I guess if it's, if it's a Democratic council or whatever, maybe that person got outvoted.
Well, it's silent votes, and it's, I don't know if this is accurate, but I believe everybody who's alive in the Hall of Fame, they're the ones that votes. And then you have certain sports writers that do as well.
Well, then it's a semi-popularity contest then.
Yeah, maybe. And which would explain why Belichick's not in, because Belichick.
No, what you just described, if that's accurate, then it's a semi-popularity contest.
Let's see.
Because if there's 5 people, well, let's say there's 3 people on a committee and you and I are 2 of them, guess which way most of the votes are going to go? You know, the third person, even though he's a silent vote, you and I agree on a lot of things, so we're probably going to get our way a lot.
Okay, so the committee consists, this is the Hall of Fame selection process.
Okay.
The committee consists of 1 media representative from each football city, with 2 from Los Angeles and New York, inasmuch as those cities have 2 teams in the National Football League. A 33rd member is represented by the Pro Football Writers of America, and there are up to 17 at-large delegates. With the exception of the Pro Football PFWA, whatever, representative who is appointed a 2-year term, Pro Football Hall of Fame Board, okay. They meet shortly before the Super Bowl to elect new members. Obviously, that's changed now. They meet well before the Super Bowl. But it lists the name of the, is this, how accurate is this? It lists the name of the, who they are. Like in Arizona, it's Kent Summers, retired Arizona Republic person. Let's see, Chicago is Dan Pompei of The Athletic.
Well, you just proved my statement. It's a semi-popularity contest because if Dan is a Drew Brees fan and not an Eli Manning fan,
right?
He's going to lean towards. He has a silent vote. He's going to lean towards Drew Brees, right?
Yeah,
he doesn't have to have a reason for voting for him.
No, but they need to. They need to. I think they need to make it.
How do you make
players
that better?
I think you do it. I think you do it with those that are in the Hall of Fame. They're the ones that are in the grind, right? They're the ones that are in there fighting for the extra yard, the extra mile. They're the ones that blood, sweat, and tears, breaking bones, pulling Achilles tendons, all that kind of crap, right? So like this is the last few years of nominations. Like 2025, Eric Allen, Jared Allen, Antonio Gates, Sterling Sharp made it.
Okay, so there you go. Looking at that list, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but
no, you're good.
You could do the same thing. They wouldn't even have to change anything. They would just change who's voting. So you could pick a member of each one of those classes, going back as far as you want.
Yep.
And let that member of each class vote for the current.
Get the media out of it. Yep. Get the media out of it. Because the 2025 people that didn't make it, Luke Kuechly and Eli Manning didn't make it. But now you put Luke Kuechly in. Makes no sense. Reggie Wayne didn't make it. Adam Vinatieri was up for last year too. So Adam, Eli, and Luke were all up again this year, and they don't put Eli through. That's fucking bullshit.
That is.
24, you have Dwight Freeney, Randy Gradishar, Devin Hester, Andre Johnson, Steve McMichael, Julius Peppers, and Patrick Willis. Antonio Gates should have been in there. Torrey Holt was on there, but not elected again. Reggie Wayne, 5th time, not elected again, which is ridiculous. Darren Woodson, not elected again.
He belongs in there for sure.
Right? 2023, Don Coryell, 7th year of eligibility. Don Coryell changed the face of offensive football.
100%.
Eric Coryell, he changed the way offense was played. It took him 7 years. 7 years? You put Darrelle Revis in the first-time ballot Hall of Fame? Really? He was good for 2 or 3 years.
You just keep reinforcing my point. It's a popularity contest.
Yeah. Torrey Holt, I mean, in 2022.
Dick Vermeil, you know as well as I do, and most people don't, because, we care more. It's the same thing with like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's a popularity contest.
Right. Right. It's just crazy.
It's a stupid voting process. There should be the same process. There should be the bands voting for other bands.
Yeah. Look at all the people on the list for 2020, man. That's insane. And look at all the first timers that made it. Harold Carmichael, Jim Colbert, Bill Cower, Bobby Dillon, Alex Karras, Winston Hill, Troy Polamalu, Steve Sable, and Ed Sprinkle. All first timers got in. And look at the ones that deserve to get in that aren't in on that list.
Yeah, there's
Mike Holmgren won a Super Bowl. Mike Holmgren is a hell of a football coach. He should be in there.
Yeah, there's
Drew Pearson. You kidding me? Drew Pearson's not in the Hall of Fame. The great Cowboy receiver, and I hate the fucking Cowboys. Took George Young 4 times to get in? That's crazy. 2019, Champ Bailey, Pat Bowen. Pat Bowen for the Broncos gets in as an owner. Ed Reed gets it. Ed Reed. Now, Tony Gonzalez first year eligibility, absolutely. Tony Gonzalez changed the way tight ends played the game. I think Ed Reed had more of an impact than Darrelle Revis did because Ed Reed consistently played at a high level, whereas Revis had 2 or 3 really good years.
Right. That's a fact for sure.
Yeah. So 2018, Randy Moss, by all means, a first-time entry. Why Terrell Owens took him 3 times, I have no idea. Because Terrell Owens, say what you want about his mind, he should have been a first-time entering. And
Ray as an athlete, he was outstanding.
Yeah. Ray Lewis, that's debatable because he was charged with murder. So, did he get away with it? Yes, he did. But, that's still questionable. I think your off-the-field stuff needs to kind of carry some weight. Well, I don't think Brett Favre was a first-timer. Right. I don't think Brett Favre was a first-timer. He won 1 Super Bowl. And he didn't play for stats. He played to win, like Eli. But everybody loves Brett Favre. Unless you watch that documentary on him, whoa, is that dude an asshole?
Well, and didn't he rob some charity?
He did. A charity, yeah.
Yeah, his own charity, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good. Again, you're off field. If you're doing something that bad, it's got to carry a little weight.
Yep. So if Kurt Warner takes 3 times to get in, then Eli Manning should get in next year because Warner won 1 Super Bowl. 1. Eli won 2.
Well, once I figure out something's a popularity contest, it makes a lot more sense. This is all just bullshit.
Yeah, it is.
There's got to be a better way. I like your way. Pick a representative from each one of these classes and let them vote.
Yep. Yeah, it's amazing how many. I wonder who decides who's eligible. Because remember, in 2020, look at that list, man. That's a massive list. This is all 2020. And look at it compared to 2019. 2019's class is a quarter of that. So is 18, so is 17, 16, 15, 14.
So whatever class that 2021 was must have had a badass draft that year.
Something.
To have that many superstars.
Yeah, because it looks more like it's 15 per class that they nominate if you're going down. Like Joe Montana, absolutely first ballot Hall of Famer. Absolutely.
Scroll back to 2019.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity.
Or you meant 20?
No.
This is 19.
Okay, now go to 21.
15.
That's the same. I was thinking maybe 2019 draft or the Hall of Fame got screwed up by COVID and 2020 was actually in 2021. If you think about it, all these things are actually the next year.
Yeah. It's 18. It's 18 inductees or 18 eligible.
Yeah, I wonder why it was double for 2020.
I have no idea. Because it seems like 18 all the way down. All the way down. Warren Moon, first ballot Hall of Famer, never won a Super Bowl, but he was a hell of a player. Why did it take John Madden twice? Like, I know it's a popularity contest, but John Madden changed the viewership of the game.
Not many people more popular than John Madden in football.
No. Dan Marino, he never won a Super Bowl, first ballot. Why? Does that mean Josh Allen, who's never going to win a Super Bowl, is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Probably.
Which I think is bullshit. Barry Sanders, rightly so. First ballot Hall of Famer. John Elway, rightfully so. Marcus Allen, rightfully so. Jim Kelly, he went to 4 Super Bowls and lost every one.
They actually choose who's going.
Yeah. Okay,
or they actually choose who's eligible by what I would consider a better way. There's a 50-person selection committee.
Okay.
That committee meets annually before every Super Bowl to elect 4 to 8 new members from a list of finalists. So it's constantly, it's not always the same committee. Every year they elect 4 to 8 new members. So you must only be able to sit on it for so long. A candidate must receive at least 80% approval, 40 out of 50 votes from the committee to be elected.
Gotcha.
So I'm guessing in 2020, they just agreed on a lot of different people.
Right.
Abnormally.
Yeah. Look at the 93 class. Dan Fouts, Chuck Noll, Walter Payton, and Bill Walsh. Terry Bradshaw, a terrible statistical quarterback. Terrible. Made the Hall of Fame. First time. He won Super Bowls.
Right.
Hello. He won Super Bowls. Statistically, he sucked, but he won Super Bowls.
Which is the object of the game.
Right. Win Super Bowls. It's not stats. It's you play to win the game. Now, look at today's kind of players like Baker Mayfield. Hell of a football player. He plays to win, not stats. Does he get in the first time?
Well, the way things are set up right now, yes.
Which is bullshit.
I agree.
But everybody loves Baker Mayfield. You know, Baker Mayfield, he speaks his mind, and his commercials were hilarious. I really wish they would have taken his Cleveland Brown commercials when he got traded. I wish they would have moved him to the new stadium and had a bit about that, because that would have been funny. Like, he's got the wrong keys. Totally. I got the wrong keys. I thought this was where the kitchen was at. Now, that's the bathroom. Where am I? Oh, I'm in LA. That's right. I'm in LA. Huh. Yeah, it would have been funny as hell, man.
And if they steal that idea now, we're suing them.
Yeah, absolutely. Lawsuit. Yeah, so who do you take for the Super Bowl? Patriots?
No, I already took the Seahawks.
Okay. Yeah.
I just think that the Seahawks are that much better. So the Patriots are going to have luck, and they're going to have to play a perfect game.
Yeah.
They can win. I mean, for all the Patriots fans that are screaming right now, they got a great team. There's no question. I just think the Seahawks have the edge just a little bit. I think their defense is a little bit better. And every time I thought that they had reached their peak, for lack of I'm just trying to think of what I wanted to say there. Yeah. Every time I thought the Seahawks had reached their peak, they proved me wrong. They're very well-rounded team.
The Seahawks played the Rams to get there, though, right?
Correct. 3 times they beat them.
How many points did they give up in the final playoff game?
Oh, fuck. I don't know.
That was a crazy game, right? That wasn't a defensive game at all.
It was not.
That's why I'm not sold on Seahawks defense, because they gave up so many points. But the Patriots won a weather game. Right. The Patriots won a weather game. So, I mean, that could have gone either way. It just could have gone either way. You can't, you know what I mean? Had Bo Hicks not broke his ankle, does that game change? I don't know, because it's a weather game. Weather should always play a factor in football, because that's part of the reason why we as fans enjoy watching the game, rain, snow. So when they put these teams in domes and shit, I think it's just boring. It's not real. It's the extra element that nobody can control.
Okay, so here's what I'm going on.
Okay.
Yes, they gave up 27 points to the Rams.
Right.
But here's where my mind goes as a gambler, and this is what you need to do when you're gambling. You got to know as many facts as possible, right? Yeah, you got to know
when to fold them.
Kenny Rogers was right. That's why
you got to know when to walk away.
That's it.
You got to know when to run.
So the Rams were the most potent offense in the NFL this year.
Agreed.
Number one, right? Okay. So they did give up 27 points. Chris Dunham is right. But I go back in history, and the only other time that the Seahawks have given up any amount of points is every time they played the Rams, who are the number one most potent offense in the league. Their final scores before that, were 41-6, 13-3, 27-10, 18-16, 37-9, 26-0. I take that back. They gave up 24 points to the Titans, but they still won 30-24.
Okay.
They got beat by the Rams, for everybody that was screaming, saying, the Rams beat them one time, dickhead.
Right.
21-19. So they only gave up 21 points.
Yep.
22, 14, 19, 12. The Buccaneers beat them on October 5th, 38-35. You see what I'm saying, though?
Yeah.
Traditionally, they gave up less than 20 points in every game they've played this season.
Okay. So since we're talking about gambling, here's my bets. I put $3 on the New York Giants to win the Super Bowl next year.
How much does that pay if you win?
$228.
I love that.
Right?
That's a good bet.
I put $2 on what the fuck is this? Oh, there's gonna be a score in the last play of the first half in the Super Bowl, whether it's a field goal or a touchdown pass.
The last play of the first half.
Right, there'll be a score. And then I have that caveat. I have another little caveat there that'll be a field goal at the last play of the first half.
Did you bet on the coin toss?
No, because it was stupid to me. It wasn't enough money. It was straight odds. It's like if you bet $2, you get $2.16, regardless of how it flips.
You just got to do it because then you're gambling from the get-go.
I didn't want to win 16 cents, man. I thought that was stupid.
That's my favorite bet.
I know. I got to see what these other fees are. Let's see. So, a score in the final two minutes of the first half. Both teams successful.
Final 2 minutes, not just the final score.
Right. And then I have one that says a final score, and either team to kick a game-winning walk-off field goal. I said I picked that because why not? There will be a score in the last play of the game. Figure why not? Regulation only. Both teams convert a fourth down. Stephon Diggs gets at least 4+ receptions.
I have that one too.
Smith-Njigba gets over 93.5 yards.
I have that one
Drake
too.
Mayo rushes over 36.5 yards, and Drake Mayo throws for more than 40 yards. I thought that was a stupid bet. Why not? Seattle defense, anytime they score a touchdown, I think there will be a turnover, a pick six, or a fumble, pickup, scoop, and
back
score.
up to the one before that.
Drake May, 40+ yards. Oh, I'm sorry, rushing. 40+ yards rushing.
Okay. I was like,
I have two.
There's no way they have a bet for him to throw for more than 40 yards.
Yeah, I read it wrong. So I have two wagers for Drake May to throw at least 36.5, or rush for over 36.5 yards and rush for over 40 yards. So I don't know why I did that.
Okay.
Seattle will score a defensive touchdown
because he scrambles a lot.
Yeah, and Seattle will score a touchdown on defense. Sam Darnold will throw at least 250 yards. Drake May will throw at least 250 yards. The Patriots, and I got the Patriots win the +4.5 for the win. And then I have my other one is Max Homa, because Charles Barkley said Max Homa was going to win the U.S. Masters. So I put $11 on him to win $600. Barkley knows golf.
He does.
So I saw an interview with him, and it was a kind of a cool little interview. It was like 20 questions with whoever you are. And a lot of it was basketball related. You know, who's the GOAT? Jordan, just without any hesitation. But then when it got to golf, he's that guy's going to win the U.S. Masters. I'm like, all right. I opened my app up. There you go. Let's see if Barkley's true to form or not. You know, because why not?
Well, he loves golf, so he follows it.
Well, yeah, and he's a gambler, because him and Jordan used to gamble all the time. All those legendary stories per hole, closest to the pin.
Those are two sports that I go to steal for, because he follows tennis and he follows golf. He doesn't watch it. He just follows who wins. So he looks at the leaderboards.
Tennis?
He loves watching tennis. Yeah.
Really? Huh.
Yeah, tennis is one of those games when it gets to be like the Wimbledon, and it is oddly entertaining.
Huh.
Because there's so much pressure on person to. It's almost like the UFC, only there's no. It's person to person. It's not a team.
Yeah.
And these people they're playing for being the number one player in the world. I'm not saying that he watches like all the matches that go on during the year, but when it comes to like knowing who the top players in the world are, he 100% knows who those people are.
That's interesting.
And he'll tell you, hey, I got, $5 on whoever. And I'm like, who's that? Who's the number one player in the world? He's from Spain. Oh, no shit.
That's crazy. This just tell you how much I watch tennis. The only thing I can remember probably a few. Andre Agassi, John McEnroe.
Back to when you and I were about 18.
Yeah, John McEnroe.
That's going back to when we were about 12.
That one guy. Arthur Ashe, because he just stands out. And that chick, Billie Jean King, who looks like I think was a lesbian. I don't quote me on that. Don't yell at me.
Sure. You're accurate.
But and Arthur Ashe, I remember him. It's a terrible thing to remember him by, but he needed blood all the time, and he got a blood transfusion, which caused him to contract AIDS back in the day.
Yep.
So that was a drag. But yeah, I don't. That's all I know about tennis, man.
You've heard the name Roger Federer.
Oh yeah, I was thinking that, but I couldn't pull the name out of the air. But yeah, he was good, right? He was good.
Martina Navratilova.
Oh yeah, she got stabbed. Yeah. She got stabbed on the court.
I forgot about that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, she got stabbed on the court. Yeah,
that was a famous incident there.
It was. Where was security guard that day? Chris Everett. Yeah. Where was the security guard?
I don't think they ever anticipated anything like that would happen at a tennis match. They probably didn't have what you would call robust security back then.
True. Probably had a ball boy in a yellow shirt.
We were sophisticated at one time, right?
Well, yeah, because that's prim and proper. Prim and proper.
And as violent as the world seems, oddly enough, it's the safest time ever for humanity.
Yeah.
That's the enigma of the world we live in. It appears to be one of the most violent times ever, and it's actually the safest time for humanity ever.
Well, the one thing, like there's certain things that are going on right now from a political standpoint that I'll talk about without choosing sides. Like RFK.
You and I do not choose sides. That's awesome.
No, but I'm talking about the people watching this.
Oh, yeah.
Or listening. Like RFK's trying to get that thing across that when you go to a hospital, that you have a menu. It shows you what you're getting and what it costs.
That's one thing I'm going to agree.
I 100% agree.
Why is it a mystery what it's going to cost me to have
an appendicitis?
Thank you. Just pick something. Yeah. If I need my appendix out, or if, God forbid, you have a heart attack, how much does it cost to fix a heart attack? With
and without insurance, because you should put those side by side. And it should go all the way down to these two pills of Advil you're going to administer. Why does it cost me $300 when I can go to fucking pharmacy down the street and get a bottle for $9, come back and take it myself?
And I can tell you safely because I know, and you probably know how I know, and if you don't, I'll tell you off the air. I know what it costs the hospital to buy that gigantic bottle that they get, which nobody has access to. Yeah, it's like $18, and they get I don't know, 3,000 of them or something.
It's 1,000% increase for somebody to take it out, walk to Mike, take these. Thank you.
You know what it is? And you're going to love this.
Okay.
It's not the pills that cost that much money. It's that little cup that you can only get at a doctor's office.
The cup you use for Jello shots, okay? That you can get at Party City. 1,000 of them for $4. I'm sure
that's what costs all the money is that little cup.
Yeah, but that'll be interesting because it'd be nice to know what that food is you're being fed.
You know why I agree with him on this? Because long before he said it, and he might have stolen it from this guy because he's a famous economist. Is Clark Howard? Clark Howard has been yelling that from the rooftops for years. Why do we not know when we go in there what it's going to cost for medical services? And he uses the analogy, and it's a great analogy. When you go in to get a brake job at the auto shop, they don't go, when we get done, we'll let you know what it costs. It could be anywhere from $6 to $6 million. We're not sure till we get the job actually done what you're going to have to pay.
Right.
You would tell that auto shop, fuck you. I'll go down the road to Frank's auto shop, who's going to tell me what it costs to do a brake job. But for some reason, we have such a tight lobbyist system in the medical field and the insurance field that they have a stranglehold on it, and they've all agreed we're not telling them shit.
Right. Yeah. The other thing,
it's fascinating that it works that way.
Right. Well, and I'll give you an example of auto. Okay.
Please.
So I have a client, John and Elizabeth Ronchetto. Nikki was in the same school with Elizabeth when she was teaching in Haley. Elizabeth was an admin. Nikki was teacher. Several years ago, John and Elizabeth were married and they bought a house, used me to buy the house. Thank you. When my mechanic died, what the fuck was it called? I forget now. Tom's Automotive. When Tom passed away, family took over. Long story short, business got closed, taken over by the owner. So then, okay, now I'm screwed. I don't have a mechanic I trust. Okay.
Which sucks.
So then Liz did something and reminded me, oh yeah, that's right, John's a mechanic. So I reached out to John, AZ Auto Shop in Queen Creek. Super nice guy.
Shout out.
Go see him. I asked him last week or 2 weeks ago, hey, what would it cost to have an oil change in Nikki's vehicle? He's like, what is it? VIN number, year and make, all that kind of jazz. He looked it up, verified what it was. He said $112.58. I'm like, okay.
Down to
that's less expensive than the dealership charges. So we swapped vehicles Tuesday. She took my truck. I took her vehicle. After I got done working out, went to John's AC Auto Shop, changed the oil, did the things, all little checks, whatever. $112.58.
As it should be.
Right. You know, up front, when I was shopping for tires, because my truck, it was due for tires, and my tires can go from $2,000 to $2,600 because it's a truck. They're 33 inch tires, or 20 inch rim, but 33 to 14, 20, whatever. This time I opted to do not off-road, so I get a smoother, quieter ride. So just did all terrain, and I went to 3 different shops. Costco got crushed like a bug, man. I was surprised.
That's
like Costco, right? Discount Tire wanted whatever I ended up doing. This big old match Discount Tire, and Costco just got destroyed. So I went with Big O because the guy at the shop was funny. Like I went in there and says, "Hey man, I this is time."
Now it comes down to your staff,
right?
Same price,
right?
Guy's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Like his name's Matt. I was like, "Here, Matt, here's what I'm shopping for." He's like, "I'm not gonna lie to you, you're competing against Discount Tire." And then he's like, "Well, a couple minutes go by on his computer. Well, I see the tire right here. I'm like, dude, you can't cheat. You can't go to their website and look. You just got to take your product and give me your best price." And then we went back and forth for about 10 minutes because he wasn't meeting the price. I'm like, no. You want my business, you have to meet or beat their price, man. Otherwise, I'm going 1.5 miles down the road.
And saving money.
I said, you guys put these tires on there now. Okay, so I'm giving you the opportunity to repeat your business just with a different style of tire. So at the end of the day, he met it. Like full on. He met it. And of course, then, I gave him shit because, 10% discount. And then when they put him on, he came back with the alignment test and he holds this thing up and it's all, red. It's not supposed to be red. He's like, I can do all these for whatever it was, $165. And then you have a 3-year warranty. You can come in every month if you want and rotate balance your tires. I said, you just got your 10% back, didn't you? That's not why I did it. I'm like, yeah, but you did.
But for the people listening,
I'm on to you, Matt.
where we are all enigmas, and I don't know how you fix it until you break the cartels. If you didn't have the ability to do that, imagine if everything in your life was like the going to the doctor or, God forbid, ending up in the hospital, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If everything in your life was like that, you would never know what your grocery bill was going to be every week. You would never know how much it cost to buy a car, how to fix it, how much to fix a car. But we just openly accept that because these are the all-knowing people who control our health, we shouldn't even talk about price with them.
Well, and that goes back to this debate. I've been talking to somebody about listing their house, okay? So it's a divorce situation. So I told them both, if you use me to buy, then I will come off the listing commission because you're going to both use me to buy, right? So I get a message this morning, would you do 2.5% for the listing side? And I said, yes, because you're using me to buy. because when I go to help you buy a house, I'm going to ask for 3 to offset that. Later in the conversations, would you do 2? No, I won't do 2. I'm like, it blows my mind. A realtor, like myself, I'm protecting the single largest financial investment that you made or will make. And you're going to nickel and dime me to death. But if you go to the doctor and you pay the $50 deductible without even blinking an eye. Same with the dentist. You go to the store, you spend everything you have to spend on food without blinking an eye. You don't go to the cashier and say, okay, I'm only going to spend $2 for that, not $4. Lawyers, you can't have a conversation with a lawyer unless you give them money for their time up front.
Yeah, try dickering with a lawyer on price. They'll just be like, do you want my help or not? Yeah.
They'll walk away. Mechanics.
Like, are you kidding me?
Mechanics, right. You can go shop around mechanic, but their price is their price is their price.
That's right. When they tell you it's going to be a $1,100 brake job because you need rotors and calipers, you can't say, well, I'll give you $650. They'll say, no, take a hike, man.
Right. You go to work tomorrow, your boss says, hey, Mike, we like you. You're a cool dude and all, but we're just going to knock you down 1% for this month on your pay because we just feel like we can.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Right.
That's what they'd hear.
So everything in the world that you do, aside from real estate, in the consumer's mind, you just pay it. Blind faith. I'm paying the dentist, the doctor. You go get this. What do you put in those eyebrows in your face?
The
what
Botox?
Is that? You pay that fee. Whatever the fucking they say it is, yes, you're going to pay. You go to physical therapy, you're paying whatever they're telling you to pay.
Well, you picked the best one. The other one would be, try dickering with the cashier at the grocery store.
Yeah. Yeah.
$6 for apples. I think 3. Right. I think I'm keeping my apples.
Right.
I think we're keeping our apples.
It's ridiculous.
Well, everybody says the 2 biggest purchases you're ever going to make are your house and your car.
Yep.
And those are a fact. But think about how much second place your car is, right? You just said it. Your single biggest purchase that you're going to protect is your house. Because if you don't know all the things that are pitfalls before that person buys the house, they could potentially be in the movie The Money Pit, which if you're old enough like Chris and I, that's a great example of how you can just end up house rich and cash poor.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So you may have a house that's worth $300,000, but it needs $300,000 worth of work. Now you're stuck.
Yeah, absolutely stuck. And that's what people don't understand. They think because, and this is the only reason I can figure it, they think because my job is to negotiate you the best terms and conditions possible, whether you're buying or selling a home, that means you can negotiate what I make.
Well, you and I have talked about this, and I agree with you. I think moreover than that, it's even more simplistic because people are not as smart as we give them credit for sometimes.
Right.
They think that you show them the house, you fill out the paperwork, you have them sign it, you give them the keys, you get the money, and you walk away. And that's about all the time they think you've invested in their, right?
Oh, my God.
And I know you have clients who they love you because they understand that that's not true on a level that you can't even imagine. But I think the average person really thinks that Chris Dunham puts maybe 12, 24, 36 hours into a transaction, and, that's about it. And then he makes his money and he walks away to the next one. And what a life that is. When in reality, you might have 12 to 14-hour days on end trying to negotiate this. We think the roof is bad. You don't think the roof is bad. We think there's a leak somewhere. You don't think that,
Yeah.
That's the protection part that they don't see behind the scenes where you're talking to the contractors, the home inspector, the termite guy, the pool guy.
Yep. 63 people get paid every time I close on a house.
I still find
63 people.
That fact blew my mind the first time you said that.
So the only one that gets nickel and dime to death is me. The other 62 people get what they get paid.
Right. You're not dickering with them. You're strictly dickering with you.
Right, right.
So if you take a cut on your commission, you take the cut. The title person doesn't take the cut. The bank doesn't take the cut.
Yep.
There's a good one. Try dickering with the bank.
Right. I know that. Vince just came, says, what happened to this? I'm like, I emailed it to you, dude. Like, to this address. That's so funny.
I'm sure he's going to go back and see that he had an email.
Oh, he's just saying like on January 25th, I said February 6th works. And I was like, cool. And he's saying he just now saw this. Which, that's why I asked people for their cell phones. And he didn't give me a cell phone, so we'll get him rescheduled.
It's all good.
Yeah. We can.
It's all good. We're used to this, ladies and gentlemen. That's part of the creative process. Not everything works out the way you want it all the time.
I don't know why he's asking me why wasn't it in your calendar. It's not my job, Vince, to put it in your calendar, man. That was on you. If I put you on the show and you don't put it in your calendar, that's your fault.
Oh, he's asking why you didn't put it on his calendar?
Yeah, he's like, I don't know why it wasn't on my calendar. I have no idea, Vince. I have no idea, Vince.
We're lucky to make sure we know it's on our calendar. That's all the further we're going to commit to. I know it's on my calendar. I'm just saying. That's all the further I'm going to commit to is that's why I always laugh and I appreciate that you keep me in the loop. But I'm always like, he's adorable because Chris will give me like the next 4 guests and I love it. But I'm like, I just need to know who's next, man, because that's all I can remember.
Yeah. I even looking up our show email. I sent him an email yesterday. He never responded to it.
I know you do stellar work when it comes to scheduling this show. That's why I direct everything towards you, because that way one person can keep it under control. It's too hard for 2 people to do it.
Yeah.
You do a fantastic job, man.
I appreciate that.
I give credit where credit's due. I also give criticism where criticism's due.
Yeah, and you do a fantastic job editing. So, because I went in on the show, we were talking about all the different women, from growing up, sitcoms and whatnot, and I was like trying to find the little snippets.
Yeah,
and
so
I don't know how to edit that down. Yeah.
Do you want me to cut those out of the ones that you picked? Is that where you're going with that?
Yeah, okay. You could do that because and see my thinking, because I think our viewers will enjoy that. Yeah, I think our viewers will enjoy that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, we had a show
that you'll hear in a week or so.
I pulled this out of my drawer, which was a Scooby-Doo pest dispenser. So Mike and I obviously started talking about who's hotter, Thelma or Daphne.
Guy I work with got a kick out of that. That's how that started with some cartoon characters.
So, but from this Thelma and Daphne Scooby-Doo pest dispenser, we went down this tangent of all the shows we watched when we were growing up, and all the different supermodels and things of which one's hotter, this one or that one. So I went into the show because I usually let Mike edit it. Every now and then I'll edit it. And so I was like, I'm going to pull some of these out to get them up and running because I think they're funny bits. But I couldn't figure out how to just grab Daphne and Wilma or Daphne and Thelma. It wouldn't let me. So that's why I'm hoping Mike can go in and edit this down so actually we get each little segment is probably 15, 20 seconds long, maybe 30, but there'll be funny little bits that you guys will all enjoy. Plus, then you can give us your opinion on Thelma or Daphne.
Who's hotter?
For your females out there, we didn't talk about Fred and Shaggy, but we'll let you talk about that and let us know.
That'll go in the comment section for sure.
Because we are an equal opportunity, employer, I guess.
We're an equal opportunity.
Yeah. I fluttered out a little bit of my I fluttered out on my irrigation a little bit. That's interesting.
Have you been irrigating like the whole time we're on here?
No, it went from 7:45 to 9, but it continues flowing, because it just moves. But it just tells me I got to put some more dirt on my front berms to secure it, because our land moves 3 inches every year. So it's just one of those things I got to get some more dirt out front. That's all. Shit happens. I have enough rock now in place that when it does overstep and overcome, then it just goes on my rock and just sits there and
I told you about the time I fell asleep and flooded Kevin's whole backyard because the pool.
Oh yeah.
automatic pool filter, or the automatic pool filler did not work anymore, so you had to do it with a garden hose.
That. I remember that.
Fucking came home one day and threw that hose in there and laid down on the couch, and it was one of those 118-degree days, and the air conditioning hit me. Next thing I hear is, "What the fuck?" I was like, "Oh no!" You just wake up and know instantly what happened.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot the hose.
Can someone explain to me why my socks and my shoes are wet when I walked out to start the grill? Yeah, the water's still running. Sorry. $400 and some water bill in 1996. That was huge.
Yeah.
It'd be like $1,000 water bill today.
Yeah. That's funny. That's crazy. I was watching it because I was like, came up to my steps, and I'm like, huh. I haven't flooded out in a while, but yeah, it's just, it's weird. It hasn't rained or anything either. Usually it's because the ground's so dry, it just sucks all that water up, man. But this means you guys get more dirt in the front yard.
Didn't you have like the wettest January on record or something?
We did, but the last irrigation run, it was raining, and the lady before me didn't pull her stop, so my irrigation got all jacked, so I didn't actually have a full run of water. So this time, you would think because the ground was dry, it would soak it all up right away, but...
Well, you additionally had the warmest January on record.
We did, yeah.
Too, right?
Yeah, because I mowed the lawn yesterday, and it was dry. Like, it was, for the fact I got done, my eyes were red. You would have thought.
Between you and my cousin, you post almost every Arizona fact that I need, and I think she's the one that said something from ABC 15. It was like the warmest January on record.
We had 3 days in January that were at or below normal. Everything else was 3, 5, or 10 degrees above, which was fine. It's, now, some people think, oh, that means, knock on wood.
That doesn't mean shit.
That means that this is going to be the hottest summer on record, which I don't agree with that. It's just January. Now it's February 6th, and it's beautiful.
You watch. It could potentially be the coldest summer on record. Anything's possible. We don't control the universe.
Awesome. So my next 10 days, 81, 80, 81, 80, 79, 73, 74, 66, 69, and 74.
Well, we're actually warming up, so I can't report that good of numbers, but we are 40 today, 27, 35, 47, 54 on Tuesday, 43, 37, 39, 43, 49. We're getting there. At least it's above freezing now.
This just in from KTR.com. Phoenix police chief admits wrong man was killed by officials in January 26 shooting.
No.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
That's not good.
Oh, boy.
Hey, real quick, what do you think about this Savannah Guthrie thing that's going on there? They're from Tucson.
I think she was kidnapped.
Her mother? Do you think she's still alive?
Well, you and I both subscribe to all the criminology things and whatnot, and if they've not received a ransom note...
So here's why I ask.
Okay.
They received one, and I just found this out. That's why I bring this up.
Okay.
At first, not that I wasn't interested, I just didn't have any facts.
Yeah.
So on Instagram today, I saw the brother make a statement that says, you have contacted us one time with, I don't know if there was a demand, I forget.
Yeah.
The point is there's been no more contact.
Right.
He said, we're not going to fulfill any kind of ransom demand until we know she's alive, and there's been zero contact after that first initial contact. That's weird to me, if she's still alive.
Yeah, that is weird. Maybe they accidentally killed her.
Well, the other thing that I heard was it must have been a professional job because they disabled the cameras at her house and they took the Ring doorbell.
Oh yeah.
To go in and kidnap her, all her surveillance was disabled and the Ring doorbell was.
So it poses the question, what does Savannah Guthrie know?
Or what does her mother know?
Because that's a random person to randomly
take
their mother. What does that reporter know? Did I freeze?
No.
Okay, because my thing just acted like I was freezing.
No, I'm thinking, what did her mother know?
Oh, yeah, because really, no, I don't think her mother knows anything. I'm thinking
she could be a CIA operative.
What
Maybe
I'm saying
Savannah
is,
didn't know that.
Right. Oh, that's okay. That could be.
I'm getting very
down the rabbit hole. You can get down that rabbit hole. But I'm just thinking what
that could be too.
Because Savannah Guthrie's not making millions of dollars doing what she's doing. Those people think that on-air personalities are just dripping with money. They're really not.
Well,
for what they do.
Hold on before you say that.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to say seven figures, but I'm going to say 7 figures, but she's not like 20 million a year shit.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, she's not Megyn Kelly.
No.
Megyn Kelly can command a huge salary.
Yeah. The ones that have the nationwide syndicated, Al Roker,
agreed.
Good Morning America, whatever the ones there are, those things weren't that kind of money because you have nationwide viewership, nationwide sponsors, nationwide commercials.
She makes $8 million a year.
Yeah, well, that's why I said 7 figures, but she's not dripping in money. That's, and who knows what her lifestyle's like, because we all know Odell Beckham couldn't manage $10 million a year.
Can't build generational wealth on that.
Right. You can't. So we don't know her spending habits and shit. Like Russell Wilson's trying to buy the $16.2 million airplane from Epstein, and he denies it, but there's proof that they were having conversations. Right. So, you don't want that to come out before you sign your contract, because then it looks like you don't need the money.
I'm glad you brought that up again, because I would like to tell people, if you're going to do things that you're going to deny later, don't put it in fucking writing, and don't have pictures, and don't have video evidence, because all you fuckers that have said, I don't know him, I wasn't there, I didn't do it, it looks real bad when you're in the fucking pictures and you're in the email begging for whatever you said you didn't do. I can guarantee you a couple things. All the deep, dark secrets that I have, there are no photographs, there is no video evidence, and I didn't fucking put it in writing, ever. So if you want to know how I got lucky enough to stay out of the legal radar and the societal radar, I didn't talk about it. I didn't put it in writing. And if I did talk about it, I talked about it with somebody like Chris Dunham, who knew how to keep his mouth shut till after the statute of limitations had passed. There's certain things that you can only talk about with certain people who know that you can only talk about those things with those people.
And I guarantee you, now that the Clintons are being forced to testify, their answer is going to be, I plead the fifth.
I do not recall.
I have no recollection of that. I plead the fifth. I watched this show this long
did
time
not
ago.
Know that woman, Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah, I did not have sexual intercourse with that woman on my desk. Because he didn't. She just went down on me. And then I was excited, and I made that blue dress white.
I'm going to tell you, if you want to see the greatest I didn't do it, and I'm going to stall for time in the history of the universe. You watch the Senate hearings when they tried to impeach that guy.
Yep.
And they ask him if he had sex with her, and he says, well, that harkens me back to a story when I was about 6 years old and I was fishing on the boat with my grandfather, and it was about 12 noon, and it was hot. And let me tell you, it was hot, And he just went on and on and on and on, and the senator would finally lose his mind and be like, Mr. Clinton, answer the question. Well, that harkens me back to another story when I was about 12 years old in Arkansas. Oh, it's brilliant.
There's a reason why presidents enter office, having net worth of like $1 million, and they leave with a net worth like $68 million and more.
Well,
yes, there's so much corruption.
One of the miracles that happens when you come out of that office is got a couple extras. The decimal point moves.
Quite a bit. Obama, prime example. When he first got elected, he was like $750,000 net worth. Now he's just insane. He's leaking money.
If he is not the greatest example of they already have all this predetermined, and who knew the name Barack Hussein Obama other than the people and barely the people in Illinois that voted for him as a junior senator.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's catapulted to the White House in a record number of time for somebody that nobody knew, right?
Exactly.
And then did you see the other thing that came out of the Epstein files that I've always thought is odd? I think you and I are old enough to remember Joe Biden when he was in the Senate in the 90s. So now they're saying that they actually assassinated Joe Biden in 2019, and the person that played him as president was a different fucking person.
It's possible.
Their biggest, and it could be one of those illusions of photography, but they're saying their biggest evidence is this photograph when he steps outside the Oval Office for the first time as president, and he looks like he's about 6'6", and Joe Biden is however tall he is, I don't know, but he's not 6'6".
No.
This guy's a giant. And then your ears never lie, right? You can't fake. Your ears are unique to you.
Yeah.
If you look at Joe Biden's ears when he was a senator in the 90s, and you look at the guy that supposedly played him as president, they don't match at all, and neither does his chin. So now the conspiracy is Jim Carrey played Joe Biden for 4 years as president.
Jim Carrey, the comedian.
Correct.
Yeah. Right on. That would be outstanding. That would explain why Jim Carrey dropped off the face of the earth.
Right. That's part of the conspiracy.
Wow.
You didn't see that part of them where they said that Joe Biden was assassinated?
No, but I've seen because I've seen clips about because ICE is everywhere, right? And I don't agree with how things are being handled when it comes to immigration. But Trump's not the biggest deporter of people. That's Obama. Look it up. Everybody since Clinton, Bill, mind you, have done nothing but talk about illegal immigrants and how they're the scourge of our country, the drugs, the human trafficking, the criminal aspect of it. Every single one of them since Bill Clinton was in office, I think, or before he became in office, I think Reagan even had stance on it.
Now we know why, because they are the biggest sex traffickers.
Right.
So they're just deflecting away from themselves, right?
Correct. But the thing is, you can hate Trump for what he's doing. And again, I don't agree with how he's doing it. Every president has done it. Trump is just that guy that wants everybody in the world to see him doing it by any means possible. Because again, if you Google the machine, you look up the history of presidents and the amount of people they deported, Obama crushes them all of them, like amazingly so. They all wanted tougher immigration laws. They all wanted tougher stances on the border. They all wanted to make it harder to get in the country. What the current administration is doing is nothing new, but that's all the media wants you to hear about because there's nothing else in the media except ICE. Look at all your media outlets. All they're talking about is ICE, nothing else. It's a smoke and mirrors game. They're hiding something else. They're not showing you the other things going on in the world because they want all of you followers and sheep to just watch the media and focus on ICE and ICE alone. Don't focus on anything else. Just focus on ICE. And you're all doing a spectacular job at just focusing on ICE and what ICE is doing to the country. And you're ignoring everything else that's going on. Everything. And that's the problem with the media now. They don't focus on news. They focus on what is going to get you to click and read and subscribe. They're not focused on the actual news at hand. Nobody's talking about the fucking Super Bowl. Nobody's talking about Artemis 2 going to the moon or going around the moon. People are still saying it's launching today. It was delayed till March 11 because they found a leak in the fuel container. Rightfully so. But nobody's talking about those things. They're talking about ICE. You're hiding something. Nobody's talking about Elon Musk just made this giant merger. He now has eclipsed $8.2 billion as an individual human because he merged two things. Nobody's talking about the fact that he's going to stop production on two of the most popular Teslas to focus entirely on robots. Entirely on robots.
But nobody's also talking about the fact that he's all over those files as well.
Right.
That's what we're deflecting from. We're deflecting from the fact that the biggest organized sex trafficking ring in the history of the universe was just uncovered, and they keep fucking burying it and burying it. And I do not agree with what they're doing with immigration either. We have never rounded people up on the streets. Let's make it very clear for every motherfucker that keeps coming at me and saying, do you support illegal? They're breaking the law. Fuck you. First off, fuck you. It's a civil misdemeanor offense. It's not a criminal offense to be an illegal alien in this country. If it was, then we would be the Gestapo. right? And that's what we're fighting against. I couldn't agree with Chris more. It is smoke and mirrors. And you can't distract yourself so much, and you can't put so much emotion into it that you lose focus of what they are doing behind the scenes, and that it is clearly the haves and the have-nots.
Right.
Any economist right now will tell you if you make over 120,000 or 240 as a married couple, it's the best economy you've ever lived in. But if you make less than that, it's the worst. And that's a stark black and white. There's no in between. Right. You can't argue that. These are people who all they do is look at numbers. This isn't me saying that because I don't like Donald Trump. January had the worst job loss since the Great Recession. That's a fact. He can't stand there and say it's a great economy. It is if you're fucking rich.
Right.
If you're not, and now 120,000 makes it a great economy. You have to make that much money as a single person or $250,000 as a married couple to be considered upper middle class. Right. That's insane.
It is insane.
I just got my new homeowner's insurance, dude. Fucking $1,795 a year. So what that means, what that means, and you have a way bigger house. I have a 1,500 square foot house. What that means to me, and I'm going to call my insurance agent when I cancel it and say, I am not paying half of my house payment to insure it once every month.
Yeah.
You're fucking nuts.
Yeah, that is insane.
And that's
not annual? That's not annual? That's monthly?
Annual.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
What I'm saying is if you break that down monthly, that's half of my house payment.
Oh, God. Wow. That's crazy.
It's actually a little more than half of my house payment.
Yeah. Okay.
By about $25 a month.
Wow.
That's insane, dude.
Yeah. That is insane. And it's not like you have major catastrophes where you live.
I have 0 claims. That's what I saw red, dude.
Yeah.
You guys told I have hail damage on my roof that's been signed off by 2 roofers, and State Farm told me,
and you guys won't. Yeah.
They're not close enough to. They have these stupid fucking rules, right?
Right.
So last year in August, State Farm announced that they are going to recover their money from the hurricanes and the floods and all the fires in California from every other member of the United States. So we are raising your rates 40-some%. They weren't kidding, dude.
Right.
I went back and found my 2025 bill. It was $1,295. We went to $1,795 in 1 year. $500 a year.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, my auto insurance went up, but it went up because of my fault. One is because that stupid lady that I rubbed her car up in Munns Park, AAA paid her $1,700 for a $25 fix. And I inadvertently ran that red light that I still, God as a witness, had I not seen the footage, there's no way I would have agreed that I ran the red light. So those 2 things, I knew my rates were going to go up because those 2 things happened. But I can't complain about it because I did it. It's my bad. I did both those things. But the Munns Park one was a complete joke because really she was chasing money. Then she, got a lawyer, was going to sue. And there's no reason to sue. You weren't in the vehicle. Nobody was injured. Right. The fact that this nice little place up there didn't have cameras sucked. Outside, they only had them inside because it would have shown half a mile an hour turn, exterior of my tire rub. This woman, if you don't remember the story, this woman came out of the store, looked at her car, was jumping up and down like a toddler having a screaming, crying fit because he couldn't get a popsicle. And then she grabs her phone and starts filming me and goes to my tailgate and films all the information on my tailgate about my business and puts it in my face. Says, you need to sign something admitting this. I'm like, no, get that out of my face. It's nothing. There's nothing physically wrong with your car. It can be buffed out. Take it to an auto dealer when you get home, buff it out, send me the bill. It'll cost you $25. My $9,000 paint job on my 1990 Toyota Camry. Fuck you. But that's the world now.
Those people are adorable, man. That is the world we live in.
Right.
Everybody is entitled.
Got $1,700. Right. And she got $1,700 for literally. I have a friend, I sold houses to probably 3 or 4 people that have the knowledge of looking at something saying, this is how you fix it. Kevin looked at it, sent me a message, dude, carburetor cleaner. Get a rag, put it on the carburetor, put some carburetor cleaner on that rag and go like this and you'll clean that off. I'm like, dude, it's not my car. But that's what it would take to clean that off.
Right. That's somebody that I remember discussing this. Yeah. That's somebody that does this for a living. That's like, you know, he would be the first person to say, if you fucked up, oh, dude, you know, pay her whatever she wants because she's right.
Yeah.
But
all day long.
It's the opposite of that. It's somebody saying, no, I can fix that in 5 minutes.
Right.
So to the people that I just supposedly, you know, I feel bad. I probably offended some people, but they need to stop. What I would ask them, and when those people are standing in front of me and I give them the fuck you, it's because you're not being a human being. Right. Put yourself, what would solve all this entitlement problem and where I have to check myself is put yourself in that person's shoes, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I always hate when someone says, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Well, that's easier said than done when you're the person sitting in your own house that's warm. You sleep in a warm bed. You take a warm shower. Your clothes are clean. It's real easy to look at that person that you consider a loser and say, hey, fucker, why don't you do what I did?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ish. That's easier said than done, right? Yeah. Now, if I'm that person and I put myself in that person's shoes, I've already been there, so I can tell you from experience, it's not that easy. Right. It doesn't work the way you think it works when you're the high and mighty person sitting on the top of the hill.
No.
You got to remember what it was like to be at the bottom.
Because that's where everybody starts.
Yeah.
We're all born exactly the same, and we all die exactly the same.
Exactly.
So what you do for the time between it is what sets us apart.
Absolutely. Try and be a good person.
Karma.
Read Chris's shirt.
Karma.
Do that.
Yeah.
Makes you feel better.
I make phone calls, right, for clients and current clients, past clients, things like that. I called this one lady today because I go in the MLS where I have searches set up. I looked at it and said, okay, she hasn't looked at it in a while, so I called her up. Basically, it's like if I called you, hey, Mike, it's Chris, I'm a real estate guy. How you doing? And right out of your mouth, I'm no longer interested. I live in Indiana. I have no need to buy houses in Arizona. You just need to stop. And then hangs up. So I text her. I'm like, the reason I was calling you, Mike, was to confirm that you were okay with me removing the search because I seem to recall that you were no longer interested in Arizona, but I don't want to abruptly just take that search away. By the way, karma is a beautiful thing. God bless you and have a nice day.
I like that response.
Like a lot. But so here's another little fun little tidbit. My day started out like this. After I take the garbage out this morning, and as I'm walking to my dumpster, I can hear the neighbors to the east coming. You know, the neighbors to the east. If you don't know the neighbors to the east, these are people that are just jerks. I have a list of things. You know, the first 2 weeks we lived here, they pointed out, oh, you know, there's something wrong with the boundary lines of the property, you know. Just always nitpicking, always not receptive to normal human requests. A couple weeks ago, I was driving by them and I waved and they all just were shocked, right? Because, you know, trying to be the better person. So I'm going to the garbage can. I have garbage, stick it in my dumpster, and I hear them walking behind me. Throw my garbage away, I turn around. Shit you not, I could have reached out and touched Grant. What do I say? Morning. Grant, Kristen, and their daughter, who's probably maybe 10 years old, maybe, don't say a word. As we pass, now I'm here, I hear Kristen say, you have no response to that? I'm thinking, well, you didn't have a response to that. You just showed your daughter, we just showed our daughter monkey see, monkey do. Regardless of what you think about me as a human, regardless of what I think about you as a human, because I think you're, you know, what you think you are, but we're crossing paths. So it's the second time I've made an effort to at least be civil. And her response is, you didn't reply to that? Well, you didn't reply to it either, Kristen.
Right.
So does that make you any better than your husband? I think not.
And that's the part that they're missing. You just hit the nail on the head for every situation that happens like that. That person is not thinking, you just did the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
Literally. Yeah. There is it's not like there's a gray area there where, well, you know, you did this and I did that and they're apples and oranges, right?
Right.
Now we have apples and apples. You literally did the same fucking thing. Right. That you're criticizing me for. That's one of my pet peeves.
Right. And since we had that falling out, they've never said hi. whatever. When I waved that one day, then the very next day I noticed what was unique was usually when I leave with little man, I'm driving on the correct side of the road, and they're usually walking on that side of the road, which I think is stupid. There's no sidewalks. You don't walk in the lane of traffic. The next day, they crossed to the other side of the road, so when I left, they weren't in my way. And the window was up because it was cold, but I still nodded. I don't remember if they nodded back or not because I was driving, but still the effort was there. So the thing today was just kind of like really, like legit, we're this far apart. You can't tell me you didn't see me. You can't tell me you didn't hear me.
Right.
And then it reinforced the fact.
You're talking like 2 feet.
Right. And then it reinforced the fact when they all walk past the wife, you don't reply to that. I was like, wow. Okay.
That's how entitled people can be.
Well, they're just assholes. They think they're right and they're not, which is, kind of like the crazy cat lady yelling at the irrigation guy we talked about earlier today. It has nothing to do with you. It's not your house that you're on.
I'll tell you, the other thing that people need to keep in mind is the person that you think that you're fucking with, you may be able to fuck with that person, but you're not thinking about who that person knows, right? Like, I use myself as an example. There's twice in my life I can think of, at no request of mine, when I was younger, somebody found out that somebody was fucking with me, and they got the shit kicked out of them that I found out later on, right?
Yeah.
Because that's when I started to learn, for whatever weird reason, people love me.
Well,
the weird reason is because, as you know, as my friend of more than 30 years, I'm hyper loyal to people that are loyal to me, right?
Agreed.
When you call me up and you need something, if I can do it to the best of my ability, I'm going to help you out.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that
remember
goes with what Nikki says. Yeah. Go ahead.
Remember, when you're picking on that person, they may have friends that are either in a higher echelon, a higher political, a higher whatever. However you think you're the big man, they may know somebody that's way bigger than you.
Yeah. And see, I get that way when we're running, when we're walking the trails and stuff. If you wave to somebody, I get you running. I get you out of breath. But
how hard is this?
Yeah. So then Nikki thinks it's just me being petty, but it's not. It's you're running. It's not that hard.
I have people.
I don't care what zone you're in.
Dude, I have people I work with that I do that all day long with. I might see them 5 times a day. We say hello every time. What's up, dude?
It's not that hard.
How you doing?
Even if you don't like me.
Making sure your day's going okay.
Right. Even if you don't like me, you still, out of just being a human, all they have to do is.
That's where I get misconstrued a lot, and I have to explain to people. I try to be nice to everybody. That's my baseline, right?
Yeah.
Because I think that your shirt is what I try and live every day.
Right.
I try and remember that the person standing across from me is breathing oxygen, had to get up in the morning, take a shit, put their clothes on, take a shower, get out the door just like I did, right? I'm no better than that person. That's the way Mama Kay raised me.
Yep.
And she's right.
Yep.
So we start there, but then I have hierarchies of what I like to call my friendships. I have people that I rely on, like yourself, to tell me that I'm fucking up. And if Chris Dunham says, "Hey man, are you sure you want to do that?" I'm going to listen.
Yeah.
Because he's got nothing but love. He has no reason to want to look better than me, be better than me. I know all these things. Everything that comes out of your mouth that's constructively criticizing what I'm doing is done from love. I'm not going to take that same constructive criticism from someone that has not lived that same life. Yeah. Right. So when I get asked, why are you nice to that person? Simply because I'm trying to be a better person.
Right.
Right. I'm not going to lower myself to their level anymore and try and out fuckery them, for lack of a better term. Right.
Right. Right. Because
I have no interest in playing that game.
No, it takes two to tango, I mean, totally. I'm not sitting here being all high and mighty. Oh, I did nothing to offend them.
No, I didn't take it that way at all.
No, I know. Which I really didn't do anything to offend them. We just asked them to clean up their shit, literally, because their house and their yard smells like shit. So it wasn't being disrespectful. It was the original context was we had a spot in the backyard our grandson loved to play in. And flies and odor was just constantly from that corner because of how they had their chicken coop and how they had their compost bin and how they don't take care of their livestock feces. that was the extent of it. And that's what created this entire sideways track, because their response was so negative and combative that you just couldn't look past it.
Right.
Which sucks because it is, but it is what it is. So,
well, the flip side of that is you try and be nice to people, and then they think that you're a pushover too. So,
right.
I always tell people the beast in me is sleeping. It's not dead.
Yeah.
Like, don't keep coming at me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just
when you ignore someone or you try and be nice multiple times about a situation that, like you just described, I can't live with this situation. Do something about it. It's a simple request.
Yeah. Don't be combative. Just acknowledge it and move your stuff so it doesn't smell.
Yeah, you wouldn't want me to come over and shit on your kitchen floor while you're making eggs in the morning.
Right. And then maybe there wouldn't be a 6-foot tall block wall with 12-foot tall hop seed to totally block your noise and sound out.
Right.
And you can explain to all your visitors why that's there now.
So when I have to become that person, I always look at the other person and say, I didn't want to have to do this, right?
Right.
Because you were just about to say it and I rudely interrupted you. It takes way more effort to be an asshole than it does to smile at someone and brighten their day.
Yeah.
We've discussed this. It makes you feel good and it makes the other person feel good. How is that? There's no negative to that whatsoever. And I would say that's probably my single biggest goal, is somehow along the way, I became a negative asshole for a while and I fucking hate that person. I just do. I remember what that person was like and I know why I didn't have any friends and no one wanted to be around me. So let's try to not be that dude. Right. But unfortunately for the world and the universe, that guy's still in there, right? You and I are still grown men at the end of the day. We're not going to let somebody just roll over us.
No, and everybody's going to have their bad days and bad moments, but that this morning was I was blown away. Like, and Nikki said it before, you either love me or hate me, but do you really hate me so much that you just can't? Like because he does every day. He walks like he's
that's an unacceptable level.
He does. I'm a Nazi. He walks like a Nazi, like in a concentration camp. I mean, that's the look on his face. It's pitiful. It's like a resting anger face every time I see him. So I don't believe it's directed at me, but if it is, like, my God, are you putting forth so much energy just to hate me? You don't know me. You haven't known me long enough. Before the relationship was fractured, you only knew me for maybe 8 or 9 months to begin with, and that was just from a neighbor standpoint.
I feel sorry for those people. You don't know me. I really do.
It blows my mind. It's mind-boggling.
Because you're wasting so much of your life being that person.
Oh my God!
You could be happy. Why would you not want to be happy?
Right. And again, I'm not sitting there in mind that part of that's not my fault, because I'm sure part of it is my fault, because we had some discussions, but those discussions came about because they weren't willing to be a human and clean up their shit.
Right. So, we have to be able to agree to disagree and move on like human beings. Right. Not everybody, but people have moments where they have a falling out that they think is never going to be, and I'm not saying this, but I'm saying I've actually had a falling out with people that I have loved dearly, that I thought I was never going to talk to again, that I have a beautiful relationship with to this day, right? You just never thought that these things were going to happen, but if you can move on and realize that life is fleeting and short and we're so insignificant in the fabric of the universe, why don't we just have a good time with the time? We don't know what's going to happen next, right?
No. You could die tomorrow.
And so many people that we know lately have done that.
Have died tomorrow.
And that's really insane. Puts it. A friend of mine, good friend, Sunshine, she just listened to the episode with Nate where his wife got in a car accident. That could have been so much worse.
Oh, yeah.
And that's how fast things happen. She's like, geez, right there on your show. You guys kept going very well. I love the episode, but thank God she was okay and blah, blah, blah.
And to our credit, we thought Nate was joking because he did a little stint in comedy. And legit, when he said that, I was like, you're kidding, right? And he's like, no, I'm serious. Like, really? And I told him afterwards, like, dude, we totally thought you were just spoofing, because it was just that lighthearted of a fun conversation.
Yeah, he knows the vibe we were in at the time, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And then when you saw his eyes, it's like, oh, shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. She's like, yeah, you could tell there was a moment you guys knew he was serious. For sure.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna wrap this up. I got shit to do. I'm sure you do too.
All right, brother.
And Vince messaged back why I wasn't on my calendar, and that was the last thing. I sent him 2 messages. He hasn't responded yet, so
Well, if you want to come back on, Vince, we'll reschedule you. It's all good.
Yeah, because I want to talk about the mountain thing. That looked really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you're feeling, we do this every time. So if you're feeling sad, sorrow, depressed, suicidal, don't do it. Go scream in a pillow, go journal, go run, go work out, go take your frustrations out on something, not another human and not yourself. If you can't find somebody to talk to, text 988. Someone's there standing by to help you get off that ledge and change your mindset. Tomorrow is a better day with you in it. You will leave a hole in somebody else's heart if you don't wake up in it, because somebody does love you, whether you realize that or not. For the Chris and Mike Show, I'm Chrissy's Mike. Until next time, see ya. Peace. Peace.
Quickly.